Corleone shot it.
Corleone shot it.
Yeah.
Bam! Whoop. Is she feeling hot? Then I make that post and I get it. Brooklyn, Trinidad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Vibes. There we go, season.
Nigga.
Listen.
This.
Look.
Let's go.
How could I lose?
What?
Keep from the bottom, but now I got nothing to prove. Handle my business and stay out the drama, cause I know they watching my moves. Yeah. I've been too busy hating in my comments, but still ain't got nothing to do. I just lay at the top and go watching my views. You ain't get my spot, now you dropping a woo. Damn, already chose. Won't get my heart cause it's already froze. A quarter of my money, I'm already gone. If you look at my face, and I'm already know. If I ain't selling my body for numbers, I gotta spend extra shorty in my clothes. Really that shorty, that's word of my mother. Her daughter be stepping anywhere she go. I'm her. If I can't sell no records, he's down for it. Need a wire, I'm going through my bird. Hit a milli speaking up on my bird. Pretty little tatted shorty, but what I heard. I was just on the block in the east, made a bop on the beat. Now ladies wanna sign her. And I don't gotta drop every beat because they flop when I speak. I never need reminders. Yeah, I get it. Baby, go, there's a bullet swing in it. And the stars in my windows is tinted. Now I'm extra to see how I'm living. Ain't complaining, I'm finna be chill. I just took me a shot at some three to the wicked. No, my block, I ain't see you come spin it. That's not who you are, but speak how you living. Look, give me a budget before I step through. I be fighting my demons, but I'm blessed too. Send me a block, I'll address you. I can back me and start in a sweatsuit. Diamonds is dancing, that's my best move. Pay me to walk up in your venue. I'm at the spot, but see, I've been new. We do not respond to thirst, they get views. I do what I like. I go wake up today, get a feature, go hit up Liana and buy me some ice. And go walk out the spot on my knee, and they still I'm going. I told them to spice. For yourself, don't play with your life. Got a bag of you still on my tight.
Shorty be watching everything I do and still ain't get it right.
How many times I got to let y'all bitches know I'm why so many bitches wanna take my flow? I'm too hot, too dope, flow like that pink Chris and mimosa. Who the fuck doper? Niggas wanna run up in my spots and
Yo, that shit is so hard. Like, yo, I don't care what nobody say. Did any of y'all catch anybody else's freestyles? The way she just wrote that shit, I'm telling you. Lola Brooke, did anybody see Lola Brooke's Hot 97 freestyle? I ain't gonna say that I felt like it was whack, but I expected more. But I understand her antics and how, you know, she's true to, you know, whatever her approach is to music, right? But I don't know. Did you ever watch somebody freestyle and felt like, okay, I expected them to go a little harder? Like I felt like she had that persona and that like whole, I felt like she had that whole Lola shit on lock, but I felt like she didn't really bring it to me flow wise, verbally. Maybe it's just that I expect more from rappers or whatever, and that's male and female. That's not just saying ladies or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's real energy, and I just feel like ain't nobody touched that like that. I just lay at the top and go watching my views. Yo, that's some crazy shit. I just lay at the top and go watching my views. You ain't get my spot now. You dropping no woo. Damn, already chose. Don't get my. Let's go. Let me just drop that from the beginning.
I need a run tune right now. You know what I'm saying?
Let's go.
Bad girl devil in the building. Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah. Corleone shot.
This is the only time I listen to this beat.
Bam!
Ever.
Is she feeling hot? Then I make that post and I get it. Brooklyn, Trinidad. Yeah. Vibes. There we go, season.
Okay.
Listen. Look. How could I lose? Keep from the bottom, but now I got nothing to prove. Handle my business and stay out the drama, cause I know they watching my moves. I've been too busy hating in my comments, but still ain't got nothing to do. I just stay at the top and go watching my views. You ain't get my spot, now you dropping a woo. Damn, already chose. Won't get my heart cause it's already froze. A quarter of my money, I'm already gone. If you look at my face, and I'm already known. Cause I ain't selling my body for numbers, I gotta spend extra 20 in my clothes. Really that shorty, that's word of my mother. Her daughter be stepping anywhere she go. I'm her. If I can't sell no records, he's down for it. Need a wire, going through my bird. Hit a milli speaking up on my bird. Pretty little tatted shorty, but what I heard. I was just on the block in the east, made a bop on the beat. Now labels wanna sign her. And I don't gotta drop every beat because they flop when I speak. I never need reminders. Yeah, I get it. Baby, go, there's a bullet swing in it. And the stars in my windows is tinted. Now I'm extra to see how I'm living. Ain't complaining, I really be chill. I just took me a shot at some three to the wicked. In my block, I ain't see you come spin it. That's not who you are, but speak how you living. Look, give me a budget before I step through. I be fighting my demons, but I'm blessed too. Send me a block, I'll address you. I can back me and start in a sweatsuit. Diamonds is dancing, that's my best move. Pay me to walk up in your venue. I'm at the spot, but see, I've been new. We do not respond to thirst, they get views. I do what I like. I can wake up today, get a feature, go hit up Liana and buy me some ice. And go walk out the spot on my knee, and they still I'm going. I told them to spice. For yourself, don't play with your life. Got a bag of you still on my tight. Sure to be watching everything I do until I get it right.
What? Ain't no girl I'm telling you, I'm not trying to be funny. Ain't no girl do it like that up there. I'm telling you. And it's like, man, that's crazy. That's crazy. So anyway, shout out to everybody who's here. Please make sure that you thumbs up the video if you're just now getting here. Please make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Man, you finally went live, LaRon. I've been looking for you all day, but I'll catch the replay. It says Ashley. Okay. What's up, Vontae? Let's see. What's up, Enclave? Yo, I still got a matter of fact. Let me see something. Hold up. All right, that's better. So, all right. What's up, Lacey? What's up, Kay? What's up, Shah? Bobby was good. Yeah, so I just wanted to come and chat real quick. So Cardi B and Lotto, y'all know that they put out a new song. Uh each was Cardi was on the remix to Rosalia's song. And I mean, has anyone, let me go back and check this. As I checked earlier, because I had went on Twitter, and you know how the fans just be talking and chit-chatting. And it's a reoccurring thing to me where they want you to think that Cardi, like real talk, like let's put fan base shit apart. Let's just say some things across the board if things are supposed to be how they're supposed to, of how they want you to think they appear. They want you to think that Cardi has so many fans and that they just buy and do anything that she wants to. This is why I'm trying to tell you, I ain't trying to be like, honestly, if you a fan of Nicki, and I feel like real talk, if I feel like Nicki in itself as an artist is a huge fucking essay in itself. It's like even from her marketability, and it's something that she's blessed with, that she can do anything and it'll just boom. It's like whatever product that she does and she let is a part of, it goes, and it doesn't matter. And it shows to me that's Beyonce levels. When you can sell out Fendi, like that's crazy. That's crazy to me. That's crazy. That's a level where people will invest in you. Everybody hasn't reached that. And I think that is dope as fuck to have a trek to get there. But they want you to think that Cardi is on that level. And it's just it's not that, because let me tell you something. If she's on that song with Rosalia, that song should have been in the top. It should have been in the top. You know that we could be on a song with, when I say we, I'm talking about the fans of Nicki. Like she could be on a song with a random, and that shit is gonna go. We're gonna try to get that shit to number one. And most of the times it is gonna go number one, even if it stayed there for a few hours. It's gonna go up. It's like, where's the basis at that they argue about and say they exist? Where are these people at? Because I feel like they not there. That shit just don't seem real. So I think that's funny. And then also this song, I just realized for some reason, I was just thinking about it. Lotto's song, this is that song that Cardi was promoting after she performed with Glorilla. And she was just like, you should release this song. And then what she do? She went and released it. I want to actually check the iTunes on my phone, because I don't think iTunes on Corb is going to give me an updated version, because I want to see, maybe Rosalia and Cardi did climb and people have woken up during the day and was like, you know what, let me support this record. Let's see what's going on iTunes. Let's see. Mariah Carey asked number 2. Megan Trainor is up there. Okay, Rihanna's still up. No notice in the top 20. Nothing in the 30. I see Cuffit is number 37. Damn, Superstar? Really? Whip Shots? All that? Nah, not in the top 50. A new song? There's no fans excited. Y'all know this ain't our style at all. This is what I'm trying to tell you. Sometimes it's not even funny. Like there's no competition at all. You know that there's no competition. They want us. They gotta beef these people numbers up on YouTube. They gotta beef these people numbers up in streams and all of that to make them feel like they. What Beyonce say? She ain't even had me. Yeah, she ain't even half, and we know that. They want this whole to think that she sold 100 million records, so we know what them pure sales look like. There's no interest there. I wouldn't even want a career based off of that, because when it fall, it's fall. I'm telling you, I feel like this is my own perception. I feel like the way that the music industry perceives Cardi B, like it could, like, say for example, say she left Atlantic Records and say Warner was interested, and we seen how Warner handled that soundtrack. It was barely no promotion. Well, maybe they thought that her celebrity would sell it for the Netflix, whatever, right? That shit didn't do anything, right? And I feel like if she moved from Atlantic and a label just did organic things with her, like how they do with Nicki, and just send it to radio and see what happens or whatever, I don't think Cardi B would be afloat like that. I don't. I don't think she would be afloat like that. And that's why I get mad, because I feel like maybe she's in some sort of way inspiring young girls and making it seem like, oh, I did this and I did there, but there's a lot of manipulation and a lot of dollars. Yeah, artists have to have money for marketing and stuff, but when you're doing shit like maliciously, like I don't care what nobody say. They might not say it out loud, but there was something to suppress Nicki Minaj radio play. There definitely was. There was something in that mix to suppress it, because if you suppress the radio play, that suppresses the chart ranking. That makes Nicki look like her songs ain't popping like that no more. They want to fuck with your esteem and all of that. And thank God that shit never fucked with Nicki, and she started delivering trash ass verses. She still went hard every time she dropped. Every time, whether it was Megan Trainor's song, whether it was Tyga's song, whether it was Woman Like Me, what's that song she did with Zayn? She still did every song, and they want to take her talent away. She don't ever do that. Nicki come 150% every time. And so it's like, I feel like in Cardi's mind, she just want to be in some shit where she's just like, okay, like, we sold about the same records. You will never sell that. You would never do that. I don't care what the streams gas you up to be. And you know that there's come on, if you sold that many records, let's be honest. What is the stature and what is the stamina of a person who sold 100 million records? They would have no issue with selling out a day in London. Are you serious? After everything opened up, Nicki's date sold out. You crazy? Please don't take that. I think that right there is a sign. And you know what's so crazy? People say, oh, overseas, Nicki Minaj sells out, right? Nicki sell everywhere she go. But let's say that and say overseas, everybody is supposed to sell. And that's London. You mean to tell me 2 days in a row they didn't want to see that girl like that? Come on. The label have to realize at some point that this shit is not real, and it's going to take a lot of money to keep it going. So it's like, is it worth it at the end of the day? People need to come to these record labels and tell them they actually ruining the music industry. We need more long-lasting rappers or like artists or whatever the case may be. Like I felt like Foxy Brown, like when she came into the game, she was more of a battle rapper, and Jay-Z kind of like helped crafted her into more making songs and like stuff like that. Like he helped her like along the way, in the beginning. So, and then of course you get the swing of things yourself, but Foxy was always a rapper, but maybe she needed some sort of help, because she dropped her first album when she was 15, 16 years old. So that was different. So I always wonder why people never really said anything about Bow Wow getting his raps written by the Brat and them, but they always was worried about Foxy and shit, Lil Kim too. But that shit was just always weird to me. Like nobody really gave that shit to Bow Wow and said that when he was younger, the Brat was definitely writing his raps. She was in a lot of his credits. You could go look it up. So let's see. Cardi B wants people to purchase $5 tickets and try to get them out for free. That says she's backing Cardi, and Cardi gonna pull the girls who would make come together. Oh God, I ain't hear that. But yeah, so I think that's what it is. And these record labels, they gotta realize, why don't you just start investing in like the real rappers? Yeah, a girl might not be as polished when you see her and get her off the street or whatever, but if her talent is there, she can make the songs. Why are you guys pulling up these whack ass artists just because they have one viral song? We already got female rappers that's in the game. I want to see Doechii do more. I want to see Young Devin do more. I want to see a few rap girls do more. I feel like it's a lot of hair and go ones like Dream Doll. I feel like she had a big moment or whatever, and I don't get it. I don't understand what Dream Doll is doing. Maybe there's some Dream Doll fans in the crowd, but I don't understand what she's doing. But she's trying to do something. She releases songs here and there, but they don't really hit. That's not really my type music, because first and foremost I gotta believe it. And if I don't believe it, then it's just like, nah. Dream Doll is one of those Cardi. This is what happened with Dream Doll. She's a Cardi. She was on that what's that show, Bad Girls Club. And then after she seen the clout from that was kind of dying down, she figured she needed to turn into something else to keep it going. Come on, y'all know that's what happened with Cardi. She went to Love and Hip Hop. She needed to keep the gimmick going, keep the check going. So then she turned into music. Come on, music is not Cardi's love. She just do it because it's something that she's existed in. And now she's giving Partisan, in my opinion, she's giving Partisan Fontaine a hard time. And you know what's so crazy? This is what I definitely feel. Oh, you know what? This is an interesting take, Do you think that Cardi is having a hard time with music because of everything that's going on, just sonically with Megan? It's impacting her and it's impacting Partisan and his writing. And then Cardi is probably feeling like she getting the shit into the stick. Like I feel like this is whole huge psychotic web going on with Partisan Cardi. She giving him everything, and maybe Cardi feel like she ain't fucking with them because you just never know. I rather think about it in my mind, go there than to not think about it at all. But you just never really know. And I feel like she's saying, I just don't like nothing. So that means that whoever is writing it, she's telling them that she don't like it. Whoever is writing those songs for her, she's saying, you know what I'm saying? Went to Love and Hip Hop. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So let me go to Instagram. Yeah, please make sure that you thumbs up the video if you're just getting here. I know I went live kind of late, but yeah. Oh man. Let's see. Yo, so I wanted to talk about, and I want to say this first for myself, because I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I was telling somebody, right? I felt like before this week, and I'm just speaking for myself, I felt like this, right? This week until this case started, I felt like I didn't see Meg, I didn't humanize Megan. Of course, I see her as a human being. I just felt like I didn't humanize her. I didn't consider it, honestly, and I do have to hold myself accountable for that. But at the same time, I do also know that I didn't really talk about the case like that because I just didn't feel comfortable. I feel like, I don't know, with me personally, and the person could say it's a bias or whatever, but you can't really say it's a bias. I grew up with all brothers, but you have to realize as life changes or whatever, like my nieces were the first little girls like in our family. So it's like you realize a lot of different things and you're like, okay, now I kind of understand where they're coming from, and you can see things, you grow and you learn as you go, right? So I can admit that this week it was just like, damn, because I'm gonna be honest with you. Earlier this week, when Megan had made that comment and she was just like, what did they say? She said, he should have just killed, did whatever to her, right? On some real shit, I was just like, maybe she was doing some sympathy grab then, but then I had to really think about the psyche of a person who don't have their parents or not. Like, you have to understand this, right? And this is why it kind of ties into that DJ Twitch story for me. Like, I want to say this, and this is not to say that, people struggle with mental illness, whatever the case may be. We don't know what the reasons are. I think they said he wrote a letter, but I haven't read anything about it yet, right? But what I want to say is like when that happens and you take yourself away, I feel like this, especially if you have children, I feel like it's so selfish. It's so selfish because it's like, how do they draw strength from that? How do they draw inspiration from that? And then they're going to go through something. They're going to go through a hard time and they're going to think that that's okay. I'm telling you, listen, right. I'm going to say this, and it could have been other people that was thinking this too. But I remember when Whitney Houston, the way that she went out, and I remember thinking how much her daughter loved her during the weeks and following her death. And I thought to myself, something's going to happen to her daughter the same way. And it happened the same way. I'm telling you, it's almost creepy the way that it fucking happened. The way that, and they said that, her boyfriend did it, but listen, I feel like it happened, and I feel like she loved her mother, and you realize it gets crazy like that. Some people really love their families and stuff like that, and they feel that when their family is not here anymore, you don't know what a person. All I'm trying to say is, I felt like I wasn't really humanizing Megan. And what I'll say is to this is that I felt as though, okay, this week I didn't really look at it from the point of, yo, all right, Megan, of course, she's a snake. I don't like what she did to Nicki. She seemed very conniving or whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, like, right? I don't know. Like, at the end of the day, like, I don't really listen to Megan music like that no more. Like, I'm not, I know a few Tory songs, and I didn't know Kelsey until this situation. All I'm saying is, even if it was an accident, right? Something happened, right? So that's what I feel like I didn't really like penetrate. Like something happened to her, whether you know what I'm saying. That's how I feel. And honestly, the way the way that it's being portrayed right now, we don't know if it was Kelsey or Tory. Like it's leaning on, honestly, it's kind of like both sides. But what I'm trying to say is like this week I didn't really like, I was like, yo, like fuck all of that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, she's a snake and all of that, but I feel like that's separate. Yeah, she could have fucked all these niggas and all of that, but that's separate. But at the end of the day, if somebody did something, of course we don't know the full story. We don't know that, but still, I feel like as a human being, I wasn't really being like I wasn't humanizing her in that regard. So I just wanted to make sure. So I was speaking about that the other day, and I don't know if I took ownership of that, but I definitely don't want to make sure that I'm contributing to that, because I understand, like, it doesn't matter. That's like, I'm telling you, that's like if I met one of you in person and you was like, you know what? I like XYZ better than your blog. You fucking whack. You talk too much in the beginning. You don't get to the point, and then I pop you. And then you in the hospital, like, all I said was, and then it's really people saying that, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to just be, it's unwarranted, no matter how phony she is, no matter what she did to people who we could have, like, Megan is phony as fuck. We could feel that way. But I felt like I didn't humanize her until this week. Like, damn, you know what? She really did go through something. Like, instead of making a joke about it or some shit like that. And don't get it twisted, I am still critical on the music if I feel like, damn, like the lyrics could be hitting way harder. Cause I just feel like Megan has more potential. But at the end of the day, too, I have to be completely honest. And I don't want y'all to think like, oh, you know, no, I still feel the way that I feel about music. But like, for a person, like, okay, I feel like we look at celebrities, especially when they seem more fortunate, that it's like they not humans. It's like, okay, a person still lost their mom. She still had to keep it going. Like, you know, we know that she does. Apparently, she struggled with some sort of drinking addiction. But it's just like, when you think about it, at the end of the day, it's just like, um, wouldn't you? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you lost your parent, it's like you on this constant go every single day. It's just like, I ain't saying what you could succumb to. Maybe it'll be weed. Maybe it'll be shopping. Maybe you'll shop excessively. Maybe you'll drink. Maybe you'll do cocaine. Maybe you'll do mushrooms. Like, you know what I'm saying? Everybody has something. So yeah, I think life kind of happens fast for a lot of people. And I feel like she deserves that same grace in that regard. You lost your mother, then this shit just started happening. You know, the whole industry shit. And I'm not saying that she didn't play her part in a lot of wrong of things that happened, but at the end of the day, she's still a human being. Something did happen to her, and I would hate for that to be my niece and somebody to be like, you know what? XYZ, she's a bitch, and yeah, that nigga did XYZ, or she did XYZ to her, and you know what? She's a bitch, but yeah, that happened to her, but yeah, she's a bitch, and yeah, fuck that. Nah, it is what it is. Come on, man. So I just want to make sure that I owned up to that, because everybody deserves that type of grace. And regardless of, I don't think she's a fucking clown or whatever. But the gun was always in the front seat. Meg was sitting in the front the whole time to the end. All right. I think they are using that Meg slept with her friend boyfriends because of the image Meg portrayed in women empowerment. Right. And yeah. So Ron, I see what you say, but Megan don't humanize Black people and tries to place us as a standard, like we're monolithic with we are, and she uses Black women plights. Yeah, but I just feel like that, all that aside, it's just like something still happened. And I feel like you can't blame, I feel like, honestly, as a person, you can't really lean hard on Tori or Kelsey, but I feel like something happened. So I feel like everybody is trying to focus on whether or not what's going to happen with the case, and they're not really looking at, like, okay, are you thinking about what happened? Or are you just thinking about what's the verdict going to be? Are you actually caring about what happened? See, I don't feel like a lot of people care about what happened. We feel like we just see Megan. We don't feel like, okay, she lived. But I feel like if any person experiences a gun going off at them, that is traumatic. Why I feel like, and I'm going to be honest, even with me, I probably, even with my approach, I probably underestimated or didn't really realize the impact, because she's still here. And it was just like she was seen dancing later and on tour and running across stage and stuff like that. Yeah, I do think that I could have been. I played a role of being insensitive. I do. I'm owning up to that for myself. You could think that that I didn't, but I do feel that is being insensitive because I would want somebody to have grace and care about mine. And thankfully, like if something happened to her, it didn't injure her in a way where she couldn't perform. So okay, she was out there and she was doing her thing. Maybe it would again, like some people were saying, and maybe it didn't happen like that. Maybe it could have been a mixture of glass too. We don't know. Like all I'm saying is something did happen to her. And I felt like I wasn't really having grace for her like that until this week when the case started. I'm just like, damn, like to me personally, you don't have to feel how I feel at all. This ain't that type of channel. So Lante speaking facts, making the bully. So we're gonna feel sorry for Black women who tried to lock a Black man up for 23 years. But in the same question, Think Pink, I don't hear you questioning like, but what happened to her though? Like it's not. I feel, and I'm telling you that I feel like my perspective was like that too, and I just feel like until this week, and it's just like with her going through court and everything, I'm just like, damn, something did happen to her though. Like I'm not saying that I never visited that thought before, but I felt like it was just also about like what's gonna happen with the case, like you know what I'm saying. But that's just me. You can feel the way that you feel. I can't argue you down because I already got into it with a person and I just felt like, listen, we need to just leave this topic alone because I just felt like a lot of people was being insensitive and people don't realize it until they in that predicament. So to me personally, and it's not even on some shit to where it's just like keeping my karma. It's all about keeping my karmic debt clear, but it's also about having grace for a human being. Fuck that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Something did happen. And with going through all of the details, especially, come on, man. Come on. Absolutely, especially when the Black woman was possibly injured. Exactly, she was shot, and folks are dismissing that part at the end of the day. But they would hate it if it was one of theirs. I'm telling you, I don't wish that on anybody who was talking. I don't. I'm just telling you, if it happened, you're gonna understand it from that point of view. Just have a little bit more grace with people. I ain't telling you, listen, I mean all that shit when it comes to the music or whatever. And to be honest, that's why I kind of like I'm careful about what I talk about because this case is like, for one, to me, I'll tell you why I probably didn't really talk about it because for one, I don't know. For two, and you might think that this is corny, but I just feel like nobody is perfect in regards to, of course, like, and then people will hold it against you, be like, oh, well, you said the word bitch. Everybody says bitch. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I feel like, I feel like something did happen. So, and I don't want to get on here and I don't want to just take I felt like the reason why I kind of stayed out of it is because I felt like I didn't want to take either side. You know what I'm saying? And then I had personal feelings against Megan and I felt like, yeah, maybe I was being a little biased because I didn't like what she did to Nicki. And I'm just like, well, that's not right to say. I had to correct myself because I'm feeling like, okay, this ain't like, no, this isn't karma to Megan Thee Stallion. What it is that this is an example of how she chased. If something like, say, for example, if something happened, if Tory did do it, right? Megan seen the opportunity in him, and Megan is the clout chaser. So she learned, I felt like she learned a lesson through fucking and dealing with people, and she seen the opportunity in him. You know that she did. That's how they got affiliated. She seen an opportunity in Tory. She seen an opportunity in Nicki. That's why she kept turning up to her music. She was getting these things that she wanted. She did Nicki wrong. And unfortunately, through the situation with Tory, something happened, but we don't know what happened, whether it was Kelsey or Tory. We don't know. And listen, you know what's so crazy too? When I was speaking to this person today, I feel like some people, and this is not even being manipulative or anything, right? But say that Megan did get shot and say it was a fight or whatever. I just don't think people thinking caps be on, right? So imagine that there was a fight with Kelsey and there was a fight with Megan, right? And Tory was there, right? And the gun went off, right? I don't understand why people from the beginning, they'd be like, yo, everybody was fighting. I had the gun and the gun just went off. Do you think like sometimes if people just be like, say it was a mistake, I feel like it would just be a whole different thing. Like, I just feel like it could be a whole different thing. But also I know that Tory has prior charges as well. So maybe that wouldn't be a smart idea. But I just feel like even if Kelsey, personally, I feel like Kelsey, she's staying in the middle right now because I feel like she's trying not to But I feel like that audio just kind of like defeats it all, but I don't know how heavy that's going to weigh in court. But what I want to say is like, if Kelsey, I feel like, what if Kelsey was just like, we was fighting and it went off her? What, then they say that she had gunpowder or whatever on her hands. So why couldn't she just, if she's gonna? Because I feel like at the end of the day, it seems as though that she's protecting Tory. So why didn't she just say it was an accident? We was fighting. Maybe they would just be like, you know what, we'll throw it out, or maybe they would press charges against her. But maybe it would be different because somebody's seen them fighting. See, people don't be using their mind like that. I just feel like they don't be thinking. She could have just been like, you know what, me and Megan got into a fight, the gun went off. Like, I'm pretty sure she don't got no other charges, but I don't know how that would look, and she probably don't want that shit on her record. She probably don't want, just think about it like that. If people are saying that they got into a fight, this is why I'm saying maybe she didn't, maybe she hasn't spoke to Tory. Because I felt like that would have been I would have just said, yo, you and Megan got into a fight. The witness seen it. The gun went off. You was nervous. Boom. Like, why? Like, I don't understand, because I feel like in the sense of it, and I could be wrong, but I feel like she is kind of protecting Tory. But I feel like if you was gonna protect him, y'all got into a fight, it would have been a perfect opportunity. You had residue on your hand. Come on, like you could have easily just said, yeah, it was an accident. Like, you know what I'm saying? She would have probably got, like, they probably would have went through court a little more, and she probably would have just possibly, I don't know if Megan could have sued her. I don't know what she could have got from her, but there was an update that said that there was something on him and on Kelsey, but the investigator never checked Meg, even though she was hurt. They should have checked her too. Only a woman's DNA on the gun. Right, Lola? Right. So yeah, Kelsey should have just, in my opinion, and you know what? I even feel like that's wrong with me saying that, because at the end of the day, that still wouldn't be no justice for Meg if she didn't really do it. But if you still protecting the person, come on? You think they gonna throw her in jail for 22 years if she was more honest in the beginning? We've always known something happened to her. It's the lying. I'm not feeling. I can't believe her or feel bad for her when she's just lying. Damn, Sakina, you don't feel bad for her at all? I don't believe you really feel like that. I don't. I feel like a lot of people, I think people be engaged in conversation about stuff like this, but I think when y'all get in your own quiet space, if you really think to yourself, all shit aside, all funny styleness aside, that Megan is a part, she's still somebody's child. Unfortunately, her parents aren't here. Still feel like she still deserves protection. Even if, we know, especially as Black people, we got some homegirls with some slick ass mouths. You ever been with one of them friends and you like, damn, you just itching to get into a fight? You gonna go up in the store or something, you just gonna say the wrong thing, and you just know you with a person who just like that. Unfortunately, just because, like, if a person is like that, that doesn't warrant like an action like that. The only reason why I felt like it was seem more probable with fucking Kelsey is because they got into a fight. And if she would have just owned it, like, I was scared, I was getting beat up, the person in the window seen me getting my ass beat. Come on. Like, what is wrong with these people? Like, I don't get it. And then it would have but then if Tori really did it, would it have been right? But maybe she really did do it. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's in the middle for me. It's definitely. So I can't blame Tori. I can't blame Kelsey, but I could understand. I can't understand. Listen, we all would be singing. If Megan wasn't here right now and she was unalive, would we still be putting the blame like, oh, Megan was a liar? Sakina, would you still be saying Megan was a liar and she's a snake and she can't be trusted? Exactly. That's where that folks, let me see. Exactly. That's where that folks can't find compassion. I want them to find compassion. I believe in God. I think that a lot of people just have seen and felt the shadiness from Megan Thee Stallion, and I think that they are not giving her, due grace. And I just feel like it'll come to them. They'll realize it. Like, you know what? Yeah, she's and it's like, I ain't even saying like names or anything like that, but we know who she did wrong and we know what she did, and that still doesn't mean. And I know a lot of people are there, and y'all might not try to admit it and try to argue people down, but I know a lot of y'all live there because of that. And I'm just telling you got to get out of that. Kelsey Harris' husband is 1501 exec, raising new questions about her motives. All right. So Kelsey Harris' husband is 1501 exec, raising questions about her motives. Blog. So as another explosive day in the trial comes to a close, the relationship between Kelsey Harris and Megan Thee Stallion's estranged label 1501 Entertainment has been called into question. This week, we saw Harris take the stand in Tory Lanez criminal trial, where she gave a testimony filled with inconsistencies and outright silence in some instances. Friday, prosecutors presented a recorded interview that Harris gave in September, where she confessed to seeing Lanez firing a gun at her former friend, despite claiming she didn't witness this when questioned on the stand. After the last hearing of the week wrap, social media did a little digging and uncovered an interesting link between Harris and the label that is also in the legal battle with Megan over the contract. See, and I think that a lot of us, man, I feel bad for Megan. I ain't gonna lie, I do, because I feel like I do feel bad for her. I do. Let's see. Yeah, and can I ask y'all this honest question, like with Kelsey, right? And the reason why I keep saying, why didn't she just say she did it? Because it's like, what was her point of interviewing? And I know people say that, oh, she says she lied, or she says she was under a lot of pressure. I feel like this. Think about the psychology of being under a lot of pressure. If somebody got me under pressure, I'm going to tell the truth. And I personally feel like unless you have some sort of medically diagnosed memory issue, brain issue, there's no way that you could forget something like that. You understand what I'm saying? And I want you to think about something. You can hate me and not come back to this channel. But if you entertain that and you say, yeah, she don't remember, you're not thinking deep enough, and you really don't care. And you don't have compassion just because you don't like a person. And you got to come out of that, because and you wouldn't want that to be your daughter. You wouldn't want that to be your cousin. You wouldn't want that to be. And listen, that's why I feel like you can't flip it on me, because I grew up with all brothers. So I know what it's like. I know what it was like when my brothers did some shit, and I know what it was like when they didn't do some shit. Just like when it was back in the day when people was running people pockets and shit like that. My brother, they ran across this white boy. They ran his pockets. He ain't have nothing in his pockets. And my brother said he had gum and he threw it to the ground. So the Times Union, this was back like in the 90s, they put my brother's name in the paper saying like, what they say, accost, or they didn't say rob for a piece of gum. That was like the headline. And you know that shit was bullshit. They was looking, you know how they used to tap your pockets, like, what's in the pockets? He had some gum and he threw the shit, but they put the headline is he accosted him for gum. They tried to make it look petty, like, you know what I'm saying? Shit was stupid. So nah, that shit don't work with me. So I definitely have compassion for black men. I grew up in a household of nothing but brothers. Like, you understand what I'm saying? So yeah, Monte, we'll just give it to you. Karma coming for Cardi next, telling people moms to DIE, her floppy music, bot fans, fake antics, all that comes to light. That's what I'm saying. When you're looking at the charts, yo, it's really crazy to me how Cardi is on a new remix and it ain't go top 10. To me, Nicki fans, I want you to hear this message and know that there is no competition with Cardi. Unless they push her and unless they put a budget behind her and push it on radio, there is no competition. They want you to think it is. They want her to creep up in them sales of 100 million sales, and we know that there's barely any pure there. They just want her to just stream and appear, but we know that she couldn't even go overseas and do her big one. She couldn't even sell out one date. This is just conversation, like real talk. I don't feel, and see, you know what? Like having conversation like this, a lot of people might think like if you're on the opposing side of the message, you'd be like, oh, that's negative. You're going to get karma. I'm not getting karma for talking about what's out there. We all seen that the tickets didn't sell out. This is conversation. This is YouTube. This is a medium where people listen to conversation and have conversation. I'm not lying on anything. I'm saying what the fuck happened. You just might not like it, but I'm not lying. Now, I could get sued if I lied. If I say, you know what, say Cardi really did sell out, and I'm just on here saying, you know what, Cardi had to use Klarna and all of that, and she still didn't sell out, and she did. Like, no, I'm not lying. Like, you just don't like it. Like, you understand what I'm saying? It's a difference. So there is no competition in that regard. They want you to think. And when I think of that, it makes me mad. I want Young Devin to get the Cardi B attention. I want Doechii to get the Cardi B attention. Why are they wasting the budget on this bitch? Why? She's not upgrading the track. She went on Warner Brother and did a soundtrack. I'm telling you, all of that music that just does nothing when it comes out, that is a true test. Like when she came out with Blackpink and she was just like, oh, it's supposed to be the single. I think what they wanted to do was to see how the song was going to perform. The song did not perform good. It went up the Friday that song came up. I think it maybe went as high as number 20 on iTunes and it fell right back down. Fell. You know how like when the fucking roller coaster go to the tippy top and then whoo, that shit was like a fat man scoop drop. Like, yeah, like that. So yeah, they want you to think Cardi is something on the level. And that's why like a lot of these young female rappers, she's on the same level as you. They just want you to think that it's bigger because of the budget and her push and the streams, that because they put her on all these playlists and shit like that. No, it's concocted. Anyway. So yeah, so they said that her husband in that whole situation is being questioned. I want to see if I know it was something else I seen on here. Shout out to Lola Milan. So court plays Kelsey Harris 80-minute interview with prosecutors, which she identifies Tory as the shooter. Oh, that's what I wanted to say to y'all, right? Why did she? Can I ask y'all this? Why would a person do that under pressure? Wouldn't you tell the truth under pressure? In my opinion, you would tell the truth. I would not lie on a person, and I just feel like, but at the end of the day, what if she still did it and she was trying to make at that point, and then now it's like you can't be on a recording talking shit about me, and then when you get in here say like I don't remember. On some let's keep it G. If you was on recording saying that you fucking was that I did some shit, and then in front of everybody you said you can't remember. Nah, none of us would take that shit serious. Let's stop playing these reindeer games. Like I know Christmas is near. Christmas near, New Year's, and all of that. Shout out to all my Aquarius. If you were Aquarians, if you listening to this, if you're Aquarius, please make sure you drop your birthday in the comments. Shout out to all the Aquarians. Megan, hopefully, I'm wishing for better days for you. I think that Megan needs to go on a retreat. Like she just needs to go on a retreat and just stretch and just get all of those bad vibes, like right some of your wrongs. I definitely feel like you did Nicki wrong. One thing I could say though, let's be honest though too, quick segue, right? I kind of feel like you see, and this is so crazy to me, you're gonna think I'm crazy for saying this, right? It's so crazy to me that Cardi B has no skill and she's the most disrespectful to Nicki. We know that Nicki and both Megan has said some slick stuff on records, right? But for the most part, can we give her credit that she don't really step out there in a disrespectful way like Cardi? Like she might have, I think she quoted a Barb one time when she was like, I can't respond or something like that. But I feel like if you want to be honest, like she don't really do that. I feel like Cardi is really disrespectful and she don't have no talent. If you can understand what I'm saying a little bit, I feel like there's still kind of like that air with Megan where she really don't want to go there with Nicki like that. You understand what I'm saying? If you could kind of I feel like they ain't cool, but I feel like she don't really want to go there with Nicki like that. But we don't know what the new music is going to sound like. Maybe she's going to have something where she might be talking some shit. I feel like LATTO is trying to act like she there, and LATTO, your music is fucking horrible. That Another Nasty song is fucking horrible. It's not going to do nothing. Your rap pattern is fucking whack. I'm sick of them. I'm sick. I'm just sick of fucking whack ass LATTO. I'm sick of the mediocre light skinned girls. Just like, what? Why is she getting a look? Because she was on the rap game? Because you felt like she had some sort of fan base and she keep doing the sunshine over me shit? I'm tired of it. Not for real. Bodak was trash. Nasty personality. She said lies when Nicki name was attached to the tweet. So let's see. So, all right. So good morning from Los Angeles, where the fifth day of Tory Lanez's assault trial for the 2020 shooting of Megan Thee Stallion is set to go underway. We are going to hear Kelsey's 80-minute interview with prosecutors in which she identifies Tory as the shooter. Let's see. We are on a 90-minute break. The recording of Kelsey is nearly finished. We will hear the end of it when we return. The recording is all Kelsey talking comfortably about what happened, with the prosecutors asking questions we haven't heard any kind of pressure yet. Wow. This is what I'm saying. Why did Kelsey do that? Do you feel like she did that for Megan and now she's doing this for Tori to make it seem like, well, maybe Kelsey doesn't care. She wants to incriminate herself and maybe she'll get more fame off of this and then get a TV deal. I don't know. Maybe you'll never know what people got in their mind. That could be way off. I know that could be way off, but it's just like if she said this on this recording and made it seem like she was pressured down. This is my first time reading that. They're saying she wasn't pressured, you guys. So what do you have to say to that? The people who are holding on to every word and things like that, things like going like that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we're on a 90-minute break. So the recording is all Kelsey talking comfortably about what happened and with the prosecutors asking questions. We haven't heard any kind of pressure yet. My new law crime article explains why the prosecutors are going to get to play the interview for the jury. Objectively speaking, is because of really reckless cross-examination by Kelsey by Tori's lawyer. So Kelsey tells prosecutors about Tori saying something about Meg needing to tell her truth, and Kelsey was confused. She tells prosecutors that Meg says something like, Kelsey, don't listen. He's trying to make you mad. Next thing you know, the arguing began with Tori and Meg. Tori calling Meg bitches and hoes, and Kelsey told prosecutors, I stepped in and I said, you're not going to talk to my friend like that. Kelsey said Meg said that the only reason Tori is famous because he did a remix with Jack Harlow. Tori is this and Meg. I can't remember what he was telling her, but they started hitting each other with their careers as artists. Kelsey also told prosecutors, honestly, when I argue, I just kind of say things that are hurtful too. She talked about Lane's threatening to shoot her, saying she told him, if you shoot me, you shoot me. I guess it's my time to go. Then the argument turned to artistry. Kelsey describes Meg getting out of the Escalade and describes Tori shooting in detail. Wow. This is what I'm saying. And a lot of people, I do hear them writing for Kelsey. It's just like, Kelsey, it's like, let me tell you something. Unless you have a diagnosed medical memory lapse, there is no way. There's no way. You know what's so crazy? I'll be so proud of myself because I'll be testing my memory. My coworkers, I forgot about it. She was just like, hey, I need these papers notarized. Don't you, whatever? And she made me forget. So now I need to start promoting that shit too, because that's another bag too. And I did hers for free because they tell you when you're a notary, you should do some things for free or whatever, like in the beginning, just to start doing it, right? So I did her paperwork for free or whatever, right? But she just reminded me of it, like that I did that. I was like, oh shit. Hold on. Tori crazy, Meg crazy. Oh man, hold on a second. Told me if you shoot me, you shoot me. I guess it's my time to go. Then the argument turned to artistry. Kelsey describes making it out of Escalade. And describes Tori's shooting in detail. She says she turned at the sound of the second and third gunshot and saw Tori on the right passenger side shooting over the door. Damn. And it's, it's so crazy. Even though I'm not even a huge fan of Tori, it's like, you don't want to believe you don't want to believe that about a person, especially like, I don't. So that's why I'm really trying to be in the middle, because even though like, I feel like that's the best that I can do, because it's like, especially with knowing that her and Megan got into a fight, but she's describing it that way. But we don't know if Kelsey really did it, and she's saying, like, you know what I'm saying? I know some people feel like Tori did it, but to me, you don't know, but something definitely happened. But I will say this, right? Let's speak on into the fact if Kelsey was keeping it real and saying what exactly happened, right? That is crazy. She had him that mad. But what I will tell you is this, as men, my friend taught me this at a young age. And she was just like, you could tell like a man's temperament. She was like, she said, if you out in public with a guy, she said, men hate public displays of like any type of issue, discourse, or anything. She was just like, if you do that in public, they gonna act up if they really like whatever. And you do see that shit. You see it happen a lot. You really do. But so maybe she was embarrassing him and he just got mad. Like, but damn. And then the way that people were saying, like the gun that he had, they said that it was intentional. It was like that wasn't on accident. Like, thank God Megan is still here at the end of the day. You know, I don't know if Kelsey's story is true. At the end of the day, she could be rigging this shit and just saying, well, I don't know what I said. And I don't know. So if Kelsey said this about Tory, do you feel like any of the people who support, like who feel like Tory is innocent, do you feel like, are you mad at Kelsey for saying that back in September? Because it seemed like a lot of people are overlooking that. It seemed like people overlooking it. Let's be honest. Y'all overlooking that she said that. At the end of the day, she's acting like she don't remember it. This lady is not fucking elderly. Come on. She remembers what she said. Stop playing these games, y'all. Come on. Hold on. Give me a second. Give me a second.
City crabs and shoes they used to ribbon. Okay, I can't stop. Brown motherfucker, I've been chromed out. And this ain't nothing new, pa. I switched the flow out and switched the robe up. Got the caddy hatchback and switched my dough up. About $1 million in the stack, homie. Man, listen, these bitches don't know me. Bet I'm still 7 trade with my feet up in the K, homie. With rock killing rugs. Through Fulton with the charges authentic and the snub up in the glove, nigga. Go ahead in front, bet I'll leave you in the trunk. And fuck these niggas thought y'all could drown in this cunt. First bitch front, cash rounds out the pump. Bet I stunts with that thing in them Jimmy Choo pumps now. What can I say? Fox so sick with it. I'm in Spar on the low, Conrad McRae fitted. Up in city crabs with shoes they used to rip it in. Anything I'm talking now, bet I done did it in. What y'all bitches wanna do? First short hood, full length to the shoe. Flavors of the color blue. Guns, Mac 11s, 9s, it's the 22 shoes. Gucci's with the straps, so the Jimmy Choo's. Cars, 6s on them Continental 22s. Trucks, Denali's on them Yukitis on 23s. Yeah. Listen here, ain't a bitch chiller. Bet I put my money dead up on Dollar and Killer. Nigga, Fox appeal, whole hood love me. Y'all bitches can't stand me when pop to get a Grammy. Man, listen, I'm good with a Source Award. Sean John, Terry Clark, Air Force is on. Automatic start, nigga, when the Porsche's on. This bed, bro, you been slipping since the boss been gone. My team blow, cron with the drove lit up. I'm in the L coupe early when them doors look up. Y'all can't be serious, sending bars at Fox. So tell her come, make sure come, nigga, in our blood clot. Never the time y'all gon' throw me in your rhymes on some subliminal shit. I'm in it quick, you know.
My bad. I had to go get me a little snack. You know how it be when it's getting a little late. Damn, it's 1:11 already. I've been up here 52 minutes. I feel like I ain't even go in yet. Damn, too much fucking talking. Too much talking. Foxy has time, but her problem is her voice. You talking about her new voice because she lost her hearing? What I was just playing was her prior voice. That track is from like 2003. All right, let's wash our sins away with the water now. Oh, man. That was excellent. Man, I really want to tell you what we're really eating right now. It was really good, though. Now let me spark this and carry on. All right, so that happened. Yeah. Asked if it was in Meg's direction, and Kelsey said definitely in her direction, and yeah, it was definitely her direction. She described fearing for her life as Tory pulled on her neck. because it was really hard. They said Kelsey was doing all the talking. The DA was barely saying anything. Again, regarding why this is all coming in, Tory's lawyer kept asking Kelsey in cross-examination if DA pressured her to incriminate Tory in the interview to save herself. Judge Hereford agreed prosecutors get to play the entire interview to show the jury what really happened. Kelsey talks about getting back into the Escalade with Meg. It says we didn't have a pushback about getting in the car and didn't even consider calling 911. LAPD officers pulled them over at gunpoint minutes later, and Kelsey was jailed and Meg was handcuffed in the ambulance. I say that this recording from Kelsey is even worse. There was really no way of saying this was going to ever be played for the jury in full if Toya's lawyer hadn't hounded her in the cross about changing her story to fit the prosecutor's case. Regarding not trusting the police, Kelsey talks in a recording about the TMZ video when discussing the aftermath of the LAPD pulling them over at gunpoint. Cops had her on the ground, and they actually have me spread my legs super wide. You can see the clips. Let's see. Regarding the TMZ video, I'm trying to figure out why I sat through 2 days of Kelsey's testimony, but the first time I see that video, it's not in the courtroom, but in my Twitter replies, it sure seems like the video could have been evidence in this trial. Given all of the huge interest in this, does anyone know if the person who actually filmed the video has spoken publicly about it, or is their identity at least known by some people? Albeit, the prosecutors would have to find a way to authenticate it in court, as in get a witness up there who can confirm it was filmed when it's said to have been filmed, and that's what really shows Kelsey and Meg. Ideally, this would have been done through the person who filmed it. Maybe there's another way to do it, but the person who filmed it would be the best. I saw the tweet last night regarding Tory's Insta comment that said another example of a Black culture coming up with the evidence. So yeah, so what are they saying? Well, where all the Megan lie people at, because I know their stories don't match. People in these comments show you how scary the system is. Both sides completely unreliable over display. Yeah, it seems like people are torn on the matter. Like I said, people owe Megan an apology. Yeah. I definitely wanted to lighten my tone on it because I felt like I wasn't looking at her like as an individual who had went through something, regardless of what it was. They spent a lot of money on this. Yaya Mayweather sentenced 6 years probation following the 2020 stabbing of NBA YoungBoy's baby mama. She happy as hell she got that deal. She is. President Bonnie. What else is on there? I wanted to go and bring up that thing. Oh, hold on. Give me a second. Give me a second. Let me see. Thank you. All right. I think they got it up here. So let's bring this up. I want to see if they got that video from Deb. Oh, you have this also. So the defense DNA expert reportedly said that he would have expected Tory's DNA to be confirmed since he allegedly shot 5 times. Kelsey DNA was never tested for the weapon. Tory Lanez leaving today after jurors heard recording of Kelsey Harris' September interview with prosecutors. Defense called their DNA expert out of order. He agreed with LAPD that the DNA on the gun inconclusive as to Tory, but said that it would have to be it would have expected conclusive for someone who fired 5 times. So making really light about him saying dance B. DNA expert largely repeated the testimony of LAPD's forensic investigator. Lanes does not have any DNA on the magazine. He could not be excluded. He could not be excluded as having had DNA on the firearm, but that's inconclusive. Kelsey Harris was never tested for DNA matched to weapon. Both firearm and magazine have 4 possible contributors. Doesn't necessarily mean it's the same 4. At least one contributor on each is male. It's possible a female touch, but both, but not clear. LATTO. Is anybody in the chat like LATTO's new song? You know, I don't want to be a hater. Maybe somebody here that enjoys it. Tay Money and Kalia keep it cute in their latest track Blow. Oh God. You know what? When I see certain things that are posted, on the neighborhood talk, I could tell that people paid to get it there. You could just tell it's paid because it's like, why the hell are you posting this? Like, what the fuck is going on? You posting Kayla? It's like, what? That's why I like artists that don't do that. But at the end of the day, it's like, it's all about visibility now. Should you be buying the blogs? Shit is weird. Next thing you know, let's see. Kelsey says that her response to Tory where he threatened to shoot her was, I guess, oh, I'm gonna go too. Damn. So what do y'all think about that in regards to the way that Kelsey did that interview? What do you feel about what she's saying now? And now she's saying she don't remember anything. Do you think they gonna jack that? Like, I don't think they chart that it won't post her numbers. Damn. I don't like LATTO, period. Same. CM. I don't like LATTO either. So yeah, so what happened? Did she confess? Well, she did that interview in September with the prosecutors. She's spilling beans she ain't even asked about. See? I wonder how they're going to convict a man after his DNA in the magazine came back inconclusive. LeBron have that Carter album's lighter. LeBron have that Carter album's lighter flick. I don't agree about the voice thing because she's able to flip her accent and rap and sound really good. Which one? Who you talking about? They ain't post FTCU numbers. You know they ain't. Come on. All right, so let's go. Let's move on. See what else they got. Kelly describes moment Tory allegedly shot Megan Thee shooting over the top. I thought this was dope for the did anyone have a bigger 2022 than The Dream? He got that by default through Beyonce, but he made some dope records on her album. Break My Soul, Thick, I'm That Girl, Pure Honey. Yeah, I love Pure Honey is dope. Pure Honey that's my technique. I see you. You come for my technique. Ain't that's that, right? Summer Renaissance Church Girl, Loose, All Up in Your Mind. He did All Up in Your Mind too. America Has a Problem. I see you watching me, man. I know you want it. And I know you. You need. I need some too. You want. Like it was you. Yeah, she killed that shit. Beyonce killed her album. Like, yeah. It looks like, you know what feels really good though? Seeing that SZA is doing numbers too. They honestly keeping the R&B vibe alive on a major level. Cause shit, I don't think an R&B girl has done numbers like that in a while. So shout out to SZA because they said that she was projected to do like almost 400,000, right? So that's really dope. She deserved that. So The Dream, Album of the Year, Renaissance, Best R&B Song, Cuff It, Best Remix, Break My Soul, Record of the Year, Break My Soul, Best Dance Album, Renaissance Song. And you know Renaissance is gonna heat up because now it's on the dance charts too. It's #1. Renaissance was a really good album. I heard so many people who said that they didn't even like the album at first and said that they got into it and they really liked it. I think it is a grower too. for sure. Yep. So shout out to the Dream. So he has some dope music that was on that project. Where's that Deb Anthony shit at? If you don't worry about me, who I've been, when I'm good with my homies, baby, don't worry, you know that you got me. And Rosalia promote this song and the thing ain't even, this shit ain't even sell off. Like, come on, man. There is no competition. I want y'all to know that they make these people look glittery. They make them look like they're poised and that they do numbers and they sell brands out. You can't even sell $1.29 single and you're supposed to have massive fans. Come on. Man. Girl, what? Let's see. Trying to see if they posted it. I know that the Shade Room did. I seen that Lola Brick wants to play Little Kim and Biopic. Oh yeah, it's right here. Okay.
Stand her. He didn't like Nicki.
Why?
Because he couldn't f her.
Mm.
He didn't like her.
Right. Mm.
But for you to give these big ups to this shit that he did, that shit was crazy. He didn't do nothing for you. He didn't even like her. He had a fit when I had him getting on a record.
Damn.
But I wanted all of them to work together like they all have, because we're a family.
Right.
So we all have to be together. It can't be any of these. He's very selfish.
Damn.
He's very much selfish. I don't even understand how you get to sign artists. You understand what I'm saying? Because you got to understand an artist ain't never going to let another artist become bigger than them. I never like artists signing other artists because they're not going to let them become bigger than them. And you have to understand that. But you can't disacknowledge. Like when I sit there and I'll be looking at them, I'll be like, all of this stuff went on. All these things went on. You don't say anything, like nothing. Georgia did a lot for you.
Right.
A lot. You know what hurt me? Gucci couldn't stand her. He didn't like Nicki.
Why?
Because he couldn't f her.
Mm.
He didn't like her.
Right. Mm.
But for you to give these big ups to this shit that he did, that shit was crazy. He didn't do nothing for you. He didn't even like her. He had a fit when I had him getting on a record. But I wanted all of them to work together like they all have, because we're a family.
Right.
So we all have to be together. It can't be any of these. He's very selfish. He's very much to himself. I don't even understand how you get to sign artists. You understand what I'm saying? Because you got to understand an artist ain't never going to let another artist become bigger than them. I never like artists signing other artists because they're not going to let them become bigger than them. And you have to understand that. But you can't disacknowledge. Like when I sit there and I'll be looking at them, I'll be like, all of this stuff went on. All these things went on. You don't say anything, like nothing.
So listen, so was she upset about like the whole VMA thing? Because I think I read something about that. I don't know what Deb was upset about. You know, we know that Deb was a part of Nicki Minaj's career in the beginning for sure. She played a vital role. Nicki even said that she felt comfortable with Deb earlier on as a woman because she understood like her focus and everything at that point. You know how it is when people first get into the game, they have like different, you know, you have a manager you start off with. Fortunately, I hate to say it, unless that manager is super amazing and connect shit, you are gonna change management, you know, like shit. Some people, and I feel like you got to look at it from a business side. Sometimes your manager is the muse to your career. And if they're not keeping you busy, if they're not doing things, then we need to find somebody else who has some more pull and push and, you know, things like that. So that's what I think. Yeah, you got to think about that. Your manager is kind of like, yeah, they manage you. So it's just like, yo, we need to find things like as a new artist, I feel like they should be hitting all the marks. You should be doing the flex. You should be doing all types that on the radar. You should be moving as an artist. You should just be doing shit. So our manager is supposed to be able to get you through different doors. So I think that did a good job for Nicki at that time when she was with her. And then of course Nicki moved on. She got bigger and bigger, and of course you get different, more industry management, because they have those industry connects that could get you like on TV. It's like it's levels to it. It's levels to it. But you know, you always gonna there's always gonna change. Nobody stays with the same management forever. I'm telling you, I've seen it just with every artist. They don't stay with the same manager forever. They don't. So I don't know. I feel like Deb, she played a vital role. So yeah, what I could say is this. This is what I will say. If Nicki didn't shot Deb out, it wasn't maliciously. Maybe it just really slipped her mind. But Deb is definitely a huge she played a huge part in her career. So I can't even remember back to the VMA performance that she didn't shot out. I can't remember if she shouted her out or not. But what I'm trying to say is, it's like I don't think if Nicki did not mention that it wasn't in a malicious way. She probably just really just was like, it was like out of mind, like really. So. And she didn't seem like she was attacking Nicki. She was just saying, like, you know, how could you mention this person when Gucci Man is very selfish? She didn't like Nicki because he couldn't sleep with her. We all knew that Gucci wanted to fuck with Nicki. And then somebody in these comments said that they was like, he did the same thing to Asian Doll. I'm glad she left that label. But do you feel like with Asian Doll's age, I don't know. You don't know if Gucci fucked Asian. We don't know that. Like, I know that they tried to paint that picture, especially with the diss with Sheether. You know, people try to say Nicki did not fuck Gucci. Come on. Like, that's one thing I will say. And I'll say that I'm very proud of this. And things happen for a reason, but I was really happy that Nicki had Safari coming in this game, because whether people might have played the jokes instead that they felt like he was her gay best friend, that protected her from a lot. It protected her from guys, because some people, even if she said that was her man on set or whatever, they might think that she was playing, but that's still her boyfriend. Like, niggas ain't gonna disrespect, like, to a certain extent, especially if she got security and shit there. Like, it's only but so much you can really do to her. And plus, at the end of the day, she's a girl. You know, guys, I think Mano and Nicki first came up, they used to like Nicki and stuff like that. Like, have a lot of guys like her, but I felt like Safari played his role. He protected her and he kept her out of that shit so she could focus on her skill. That's why I feel like with Megan, she going through what she going through. And this is my focal point in the conversation, is that you would have never been attached to Tory. Like, you wouldn't be. I felt like she got out in California. She started having suddenly all these issues with her label. We don't know. He could have been, wait, was she dealing with, wait, when was that? Yeah, that was before. Remember when Megan was having, when she came out with Sugar, she was having issues with 1501. Let me drop my Cash App. Please make sure you support the channel. I didn't even drop that. Support the channel, Cash App. I appreciate Cash Apps, Super Chat, all of that. Thumbs up the video, subscribe to the channel, all that. Yeah. Hold on a second. My bad. All right. So what's up, Latoya? Agent seems loose. Oh, yeah, she seemed loose. So she goes down quick in all of the fight videos. Car ugly, P can't fight. She was in beat up in the Bronx. If y'all listen to the other parts, Deb got something there. Not sure what it is. Deb salty because Nicki don't tolerate a lot of what Deb says happened. Deb did stuff, but not everything. Fendi did more than Deb, and Deb ended up seeing that. Yeah, she was just a piece of Nicki's life at that moment. This is what I'm trying to say, is like, when you move on, when you find people, you move on sometimes. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like, it just happens. Like, of course, like when you meet a person, say you meet a manager and you're an indie artist, right? But then say you turn from being an indie artist to a huge artist. Now you're this huge artist and you still got this indie manager. Unfortunately, Paul with the dad cap, he might not be able to get you in through MTV and all of that and get you into places where you need to be visible and stuff. You might have to go hire the guy who could get you in them doors. Unfortunately, Paul, Boom. And then you know what? Nowadays we got all these stories. Now the manager is leaking shit and how like, oh, now you don't write your songs. They didn't write none of their songs or whatever. It just gets really messy. That's why you got to be the truth coming out as an artist so they can't say that shit about you. So it's like when business is done, business is done. Like, you know what I'm saying? Now managers be getting mad, like, yeah, they never wrote none of their songs. They were always high in the studio and did the, you know how we always like somebody said that about Travis Scott. Remember when everything was happening with Travis Scott? I thought that was the weakest, wackest shit when that fucking record label exec said that he was doing something in the studio or some shit. That shit was whack. It was like they was really trying to like go hard on him and like just shut up. Now you want to yap. Now they want to yap. Like, you know what I'm saying? Stop it. Let's see. Hey, Laurent, just dropping by for a second. I'm feeling under the weather. I hope you feel better. I hope you feel better. Now in Meg's situation, the one who hooked Kelsey up with Tori at the Rock Nation brunch, then turned around and slept with Tori after Kelsey been sleeping with him. Yeah, because you know what's so crazy? We don't even know what. Let's be honest, we don't know if that's Kelsey truth or the way that she said it. We don't know none of this because now she's saying she ain't say what she said and she said what she said on the recording. I would feel some type of way if I was Tori, if especially if he didn't do it and she was on the recording saying that. It's like, why did you say that in that interview then? You wasn't under pressure and they all could hear it. They said that they heard it. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna see what happens. We're going to see what happens at the end of the day. Can I ask you, press number 1 if you have any type of compassion for Megan. Press number 2 if you just don't have no compassion. You don't care about her. You don't care what happened. Press number 1 if you have compassion for Megan Thee Stallion and you wish the best for her. And, you know, even if you don't like her, you know, you still wish the best for her. And press number 2 if you just really don't care. I want to see where some people is really at with it. Honestly, I want to see where you at. Baby, where you at? Baby, where you at? Okay. Interesting. Number 3, neutral. Okay. Now y'all creating numbers. So she said tree. Yeah, but at the end of the day, in regards to this whole Nicki Minaj, Deb Anthony thing, I don't think that Nicki did it anything maliciously in regards to Deb because she brings her up in interviews and stuff. So I think, but I will say this. Deb has a right to feel the way that she feels as well. Like, and I'm not saying that I don't support Nicki, but I'm just saying, of course, any person, if they was just having random, this is just a random quick conversation. You know, this is like, of course, she probably knew it was going to go up, but somebody just asked her, she's having a free conversation. She's not bashing Nicki. She's just saying that maybe she felt like, damn, you should have mentioned me when you was on MTV or whatever the case may be. She ain't saying, oh, that bitch is whack. Like, she don't write her own songs and that bitch should have mentioned me because I was in the studio when Gucci Mane was fucking her and shit like that. She ain't say that. She kept it real. Gucci Mane couldn't fuck her. You understand what I'm saying? Her tune could have been different off of the fact of Nicki not mentioning her. She could have been like, that bitch is whack. Gucci was writing her rhymes, fucking that bitch in the studio, and then people would have took on a life of its own, and people would have believed it because it's Nicki. You know that that's true, and I don't like people that's like that. They believe anything that's just said, and they just run with it, and they just like, yeah, this sounds plausible. I'm gonna go with it. No, poor rationale. And I'm telling you. You might think that I'm wrong for being like that, but people, you really have to prove something to me. I automatically don't believe things immediately. You got to prove it. You got to prove it. I'm not a person who get caught up on the what ifs and the imaginary. No, I'm caught up on that what it is, like what it is, yo. Oh, what's up? I get it, yo. What? Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So look at the clip about Cardi B. I'm tired of Cardi B flop ass. He trying to make her look more. She's pretentious, you know. If you Google the word pretentious, Cardi B picture is gonna pop up for sure. What post for Cardi B? Oh man, I'm tired. I'm tired. Let me go see what the shade room got. We've been there for a long, long time. What happened? A suspect has been arrested for the shooting death of Snooty Wild. Oh, it is a story I want to share with y'all. I actually sent this to Gossip Girl too because she does really good coverage. I want to bring up this one story from this girl in Harlem. I'm gonna read this after this, right? So a suspect has been arrested for the shooting death of Snooty Wild. So a suspect was charged with the murder of the Memphis rapper Snooty Wild nearly a year after his death. So, yeah, I mean, any type of justice for a person's family is, I think, it's a good thing. Shit, may he rest in peace. Because listen, when people got to relive that, man, I felt that same way when Young Dolph, when his wife or his baby mom, when she was making that video saying like people don't understand what she's going through. Yeah, they typically don't, and it seems like nobody cares after the fact. After that grieving point, it's like you on your own, and nobody don't really understand the magnitude of that pain. Let's see. Deb says she only want to see Cardi make. She says she only want to see Cardi make to bring the girls up. Right. She wasn't being rude. Not Karen doesn't mean one wishes this on anyone. I'm just not acknowledging that people put themselves in situations. She needs therapy. I'm standing firm on two. I'm sorry she lied too much and crossed Nicki. Damn, Idris. But see, I felt like Idris, I felt like I was there. I felt like I was feeling like I wasn't giving Megan grace because I just didn't like how she did Nicki and tried to flip it and on some shit like that, especially for a talentless Cardi B. Like, how could you do this, Megan? Like, you used Nicki, you turned up to all of her music and like did all of that. And then Cardi B was so malicious, right? She tried to do it in a way where she said, like, she tries to change the temperature and make it seem like, oh, I don't have to kiss your ass, because what it really is that you hate all of the love that people show Nicki and you want them to show you love and you just mad. Like, Cardi is really slick like that. So I feel like some female rappers, they probably feel like, well, I don't want to make it seem like I'm kissing Nicki's ass because of Cardi, whatever. I don't know. I just, yeah. Was there something else that I wanted to? Oh, yeah. I want to bring this up real quick. Give me a second. Please make sure you thumbs up the video if you're still here. Please. Sunai. Let me go to Google. This was a really sad story. Really. Hold on. All right. New York Post. Cops ID. Give me a second. Girlfriend. Company. Damn, this shit was wrong. This shit is so unfortunate, yo. This 16-year-old girl in Harlem was killed, stabbed in the neck by her boyfriend because he felt like she was cheating on him. 16-year-old girl. Hold on. That was after he killed her. So look at how he walked out the building after he stabbed her. He's 18, she's 16. Whole life ahead of her. Hold on. I thought it was gonna be some news article on it.
If you're trying to grow your audience,
Yo,
you
get this shit off of my screen, fucker. Hold on. Shut the fuck up out of here. All right. So chilling video captures a moment of a baby-faced teen casually strolls out of the Harlem building on Sunday night after allegedly fatally stabbing his 16-year-old girlfriend inside. The eerie footage was taken from the nearby deli where the pair fought hours before the slaying, showing suspected killer Zaire Crumbley, 18, wearing all black as he walks out of the building on Adam Clayton Powell Jr. Boulevard near West 136th Street. Damn, I'll be right over in that area too. Wow. Man, so the teen wearing a baklava over his head appears to walk nonchalantly off, although at one point, looking behind him before the footage cuts, Crumbly, who police sources say that he already has 6 robbery busts under his belt, was accused by cops Monday of having stabbed girlfriend Sanaya Lawrence in the neck during the fight inside of their apartment on Adam Clayton Powell Jr. Boulevard near West 136th Street around 5:40 p.m. Their apartment? Why did she say their apartment? Now, I did read something the grandmother was saying. Oh, my God. So police put out a youthful-looking mugshot of the underlying accused killer in the hopes of trying to nab him. He's out there, said Lawrence, distraught maternal grandmother Denise Jackson, 51, of Crumbly, adding that she knows him and has spoken to him on the phone in the past. I just want them to find him, the grieving grandma said. His face is on the news. He's on the run. Just find him and put him behind bars. So it's not clear what sparked the deadly violence, but the first floor neighbor told the Post on Monday that the teenage couple had moved into the only other apartment on the floor about 6 months ago, and it has seemed like there had been nothing but trouble between the pair ever since. 16 years old. Like, you see, that's why I want to tell you though too, because honestly, you never know what a girl goes through in New York City, depending on what type of parent that they have. Unfortunately, we don't ask for our parents. We just are born to them. You don't know what type of, like, everybody doesn't get like a parent who's there and, like, you know, available and like in your life and shit like that. And I just want to know, what was a 16-year-old girl living with a boyfriend 18? You should have still been at home. Like, what happened? And unfortunately, let me tell you this. You know what scares me? Let me just read this article and then I'm going to pull it down on this face. So it's not clear what sparked the deadly violence, but a first floor neighbor told them it's been nothing but wait. Nothing but trouble between the pair, with the discord particularly heating up on Sunday. So she said that they've been fighting every day. You know what is crazy though? I want to say this. Now, let's just look at this guy, right? For example, and this is to anybody who has, like, if you're a woman or a daughter, whatever the case may be. When a woman is walking down the street, I don't think men think about this, but it's like they don't even ask for it, but it's just like they could just be walking down the street and a guy will just descend upon them like an alien from a fucking island, like yo. So it's just like sometimes they don't even stand a chance, depending on what type of esteem that they got. Right now, say this girl, she probably got attached to this guy because he probably seen her walking down the street or whatever, and he probably talked to her or something. Like, it's just like, I don't know. There's really sometimes some people in some predicaments based on where they live. It's just like they can't get out of it. I feel really bad sometimes for like girls who grow up in certain areas. So it's just like they don't even stand a chance sometimes, because it's like by the time they start, developing and all of that, it's just like especially if you live in an area like that in New York City. I know it's just rough, but Man, I can't imagine 16 years old, you living with an 18-year-old. They got their own apartment then. Like, damn, y'all doing it like that at 18? I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't have my own apartment at 18. No, I didn't have my own apartment at 21 either. No, I didn't. Man, I don't know. But this is cops are trying to track down Zaire Crumbly, 18, who allegedly stabbed his 16-year-old girlfriend, Sanaya Lawrence. So that's Sanaya. I sent this also to my nieces, right? They said that this was really sad. It is really sad. And and the thing about it is, right, I don't want to say corny, or I don't want to, sound corny. But when I see pictures like this of a little girl like that, that could be my niece. Like, she's a cute little black girl. Like, what was she going through if she wasn't living home? Who knows? That's not to judge her now, but like, she ain't deserved that. Sanaya was pronounced dead at Harlem Hospital. Authorities said it was always sounded like someone was running and someone was screaming or yelling. When the woman, a grad student who did not want to give her name, and it's always been a lot of shouting, a lot of heavy things being thrown around. It's always been that way. But why be with somebody just to get that, like? But her grandmother says something in one of the stories I read. She said that, and this would be the problem sometimes, people don't be in the, you just let your daughter just go off and date somebody and you don't even know nothing about them or nothing. The grandmother says something in the statement like, oh, I met her boyfriend once and I ain't never want to see him again. Like, that's sometimes the problem. And these people know that your child is available and that nobody cares. They like, damn, your mother don't check on you? Fuck, you don't got no brother? I'm about to violate. And you ain't got no brother either? Oh, and especially if you get wrapped up with the wrong person, you should be wrapped up with a person who want to protect you and want to make sure that you're safe and that you're fine. You got to be able to weed through it. I don't give a fuck what you say. Everybody is not like that. I know a lot of good guys who, good relationships, and they don't do shit like that. Like, honestly, they don't. But you have to be able to, and I feel like so many people are so accustomed to abuse because they maybe seen it growing up. And so look at how with Megan, she's obviously has been an aggressor in some situations. And she even says she used to didn't she say something about that toxic shit, how she liked it or something like that? And I'm not saying that plays into anything going on, but I'm just saying like the pathology and the mindset of it. So who knows what she's seeing? But it's just unfortunate that this young little girl, she didn't even get to finish high school. She's 16 years old, cute little girl. That could be my niece. That could be my family member, honestly. So Sanaya Lawrence was pronounced dead at the Harlem Hospital. So they said it was always sound like it was something going on. But yesterday it escalated. In fact, it got so bad that I had to step out and get something to eat. Wow. Oh my God. And you know what? When I look, before I used to try to look in these people's face and find compassion. When I look at his face, it looked like he meant to do that. Some people just look dark. He don't look like he got a soul. Why would you stab that girl in the neck? Why would you do that? You think his face even looked like he cared? Like, why would you do that to that girl? Now she ain't here no more. But you know what? I hate to tell you this. Some people be so addicted to you that if they can't have you, they don't want nobody to have you. I don't know where I read. Maybe it was a New York Times article. I think they have on this. But they said that he thought she was cheating. So this is what I tell you when I say to you, as far as having compassion for people and for what they went through. I want to tell you something. Even if this girl did cheat on him, she didn't deserve that. She didn't. So that's just unfortunate. So they said it got so bad, but this is my thing. Can I tell you something, right? You could feel that I'm a snitch or whatever the case may be. I spoke to my neighbor too recently. I don't know if I told y'all, but I had an issue where I felt like her daughter kept crying and stuff. I opened that door up. Her daughter was by the door. I just kept hearing it. I opened that door up. I didn't know what was going on. I was like, what the fuck? I said, yo, in the hallway. And then the noise just went away. And then I text her. I'm like, yo, is your daughter crying like that? She ain't never respond back to me. But we ended up seeing each other after like last week. And it's all good. And I ended up giving her something for her kids. I always give her kids like snacks and stuff like that. So you know, things that I make. I make things, and like if I have extra, I give it to them. So they really like that. But so we cool. But I'm really, and you know what? The thing is a lot of people. I found some weird, really weird, kooky fucking people who ask me stories like, "Were you ever like outside of me getting like hold on." Outside of getting regular whoopings from like, you know, as a child, like that a lot of us has received, like that's pretty much all that I've been through. I can say that. I mean, if you want to say that's abuse, okay. But what I want to tell you is that I'm completely like sensitive to I don't like adults mistreating children. I don't like none of that shit. So yeah, where I live at right now, I'm telling you, I kept hearing this shit like in my area, like in like in an apartment that was in my building, right? And I was just like, yo, I've been here for this certain time. I ain't never heard this before. Why am I constantly hearing people like talking shit to like their kids and calling them stupid, all types of shit? And then one day I came home early and I just be feeling like sometimes it'd be like divine, like it'd be like it was supposed to happen. So I had to come home early. So I'm just laying on my bed and I just start hearing it again, like, open your fucking mouth, all of this shit. I called down to that office. I said, I'm going to tell you this, right? You better call that apartment and tell them to fucking pipe it down, or the next step is I'm gonna call the police, because from what I'm hearing, like I'm not even going into all telling you what I heard. I just told them to do that and it piped down. Don't fucking play with me. I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear nobody abusing their kids and none of that shit. I'm telling you, I used to hear some crazy shit. I don't like it. I don't. I remember at the end of my of the hall, it was this lady. She got actually her boyfriend got put out, and then she ended up leaving because she ended up being with him, right? But the guy he was like manic, and he would like basically hold her hostage in the apartment, and we would hear her. I called the fucking sheriff one time. We don't got like in my area, it's just a sheriff. But yeah, he was going crazy, and he was like, and why are you? He was saying, I hear that shit in my apartment. No, I'm a person who's gonna call. See, a lot of y'all is down with the Cabo 6. A lot of you motherfuckers will watch people die. I hate to say that. I'm not trying to be funny or nothing, but I can tell by a lot of ways that y'all get down. Y'all the Cabo 6. I'm not like that. If I see something, I'm doing it. If I see you having a regular fight with somebody, I might let you get it. But once you get a person on the ground and you start stomping them, once you get to the head, it's a problem then. We got to stop that. We got to break it up then. Right? If you get in it and y'all head up, get your head up, because that's what we used to call it. Like, get your head up. Once you get on the ground, it's done. It ain't no stomp out, none of that shit. Let's just, it's done. That's it. Imagine being a friend of somebody and you you can't do that. So it always sounded like, so it got really worse. This person said that they went out and got food. They went out and got food that it got so bad, but shit, we can't blame them for not. I'm pretty sure they're questioning why they didn't call the police or whatever. I was telling the detectives I couldn't really hear what they were saying. Only I could hear the noises through the walls, but I couldn't make out what they were yelling, she said. That poor little girl, 16 years old. She ain't deserve that, out with her 18-year-old. And they some of them in some apartment acting like they grown. He probably living out some sort of shit he's seen happen in his household. Oh man, when I was 16, I didn't want to be away from my mother. I had it way too good at home. I had it way too good. Like, no, I don't give a fuck if we struggle sometimes and they had money. I had it way too good. Like, nah. I like to be at home. All of my brothers are playing, especially when you start getting older and you start doing shit and going outside. But no, we like to be home. We had games. I like to be at home. Like, but who knows what her home was like? They said that her father was distraught, but who knows what happened to her mom? Maybe her mom is not alive. So Juan Carlos Cuevas, 35, a clerk at the Brothers Convenience Store, one where the video was taken, said that about 8 hours before the slaying, Crumbly yelled at Lawrence inside the shop, which is about 3 doors down from the apartment where the deadly stabbing happened. They come in here together every day, Cuevas told the Post on Monday as he looked at the photos of the couple and recognized them. They were here yesterday. Usually they make no trouble, just take the money from the ATM machine and buy Arizona iced tea. I don't even drink Arizonas no more. That shit is a thing of the past, like oldies. I don't drink. It's certain things I don't know. Arizona is still good. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm pretty sure it is. I can't say it is though. I don't drink that no more. But yeah, there's a young couple. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. No tears at all. Just kind of like blank. Blank. And poor little girl, she probably was just walking home from school one day and he was just like, hey, what's up? She ain't know what to say, and then she just got wrapped up in something. I'm telling you, it happens that quick with you ladies. It happens that quick. When you be walking home from school, your agenda is to get home into that house. And when you on the way there, you gotta realize it's gonna be distractions on the way. Your thing is just like with me. You know what's so crazy? I'm gonna tell you this, and this might sound nasty to you, but with the example I'm trying to give you. But like tonight when I went out, anytime that I go get weed and I get a lot of weed, I always feel like, oh, like I don't know, like you know how like a rat or a mouse they get the food and they go back into their hole or something. Because the whole thing is when I be getting my weed, that shit be so loud in my car, and I just be feeling like you gotta get home. Once I get home, climb the stairs, do all of that shit, and I get my apartment, I get behind that door, boom, door locked, nigga. We done made it home with the drugs now. Yeah, we good. we good. Like, you know what I'm saying? Um, Let me see. Cold hearted. That girl is a baby. Yes, look at her baby face. That's what I'm saying. When I look at her, I see my nieces. I see them. And that's why I share this story with them. That's why I tell them you're so young, you don't need to be in no relationship. You need to be focused on yourself. I be telling them shit that parents don't be wanting to say. I be saying, yup, you 16, you 15 years old, you should be selfish. It's all about you right now. You should be worried about getting your grades right. You should be worried about when you're gonna get your what, if you into your nails, when you getting your next nails done, when you know, whatever it is that you want to do when you only can be this age once, you should be focused on that. That's what you should be focused on, not focused on getting into a relationship. Because I try to explain to my nieces from a logical standpoint. I'm trying to tell you that emotionally you're not ready, you're not mature enough to handle that. It's a lot. And then you trying to do good with your school and all of that. No, I said you'll have time for that. And you know what? I had to even keep it real because when a girl is getting into ninth to 10th grade, they starting to have different conversations. I even said this to my niece. I said, I want to tell you this. When you get to it, I said I would like for you to be conscious of what you do. But I said I want to just say this. I said you have your whole life to have amazing intimate moments with people, right? I said, don't wash yourself up so young. Don't do it. You got your whole life to get out there and explore and do it. This is a time where you're supposed to be getting to know you. You don't even know yourself, and you're gonna have all these people going in and out of you. That's what I told her. You're gonna have all these people. You don't even know yourself yet. You know what's so crazy? My niece, like I'm telling you, like 3 or 4, like maybe like 3 years ago, right? It was this girl that went to her school, but my niece was confused because the girl was really on that tomboy shit and she was playing basketball and stuff. And my niece was confused because she was just like, I thought that she was a girl. I thought that she was a boy. And then she kind of like had a crush for a second. So she was just like, I don't know. Does that mean that I'm. But then if you speak to her today, my niece is about to be 16. She was like, oh no, I'm definitely not like whatever. You see what I said? And I said, you see what I told you then? You have to grow. You don't even know yourself. Imagine if you were that age and you got into this full out relationship with a girl and you don't even fucking like girls. You understand like what I'm saying? Grow, progress. They're gonna be 16 next year. That shit was like when she was 13 years old. things happen. Like, she was like, the girl was confusing to her because the girl, she had a haircut. She played basketball and stuff like that. The girl was really nice to her and trying to get close to my niece and stuff like that. But, of course, they ain't have no dealings outside of school. They was just friends at school and stuff. So my niece was kind of questioning, like, well, do I like girls too, or whatever the case? But if you speak to her today, she was like, oh, no, that was just, I don't know what I was. She was like, yeah, nope, whatever. But I feel like it's interesting, and this is why I try to tell her: you give yourself that room to grow. Give yourself that room to grow. And either way, I'm not judging you at the end of the day. Like, you know what I'm saying? You got to have those open conversations, and you also have to be open with kids so that they can be open with you. Don't use it in a way where you're trying to manipulate them to tell you the truth. Tell them things that you had happen to yourself growing up. Just like me, I remember one time I got in trouble at one of my jobs. This is where I learned. But see, I was young then and I had to think about it. I was only 25, 24 years old and I got in trouble with shit. They say you ain't even really fully developed then. So I'm using that excuse. But I got in trouble because I was looking up shit on, like, I was on the internet when they told me that I couldn't use MySpace. And that was back in the MySpace days. So I ended up getting fired. So my thing I tell them is that when you're on the computer, they can always tell. So just don't, if they tell you don't go on Facebook or whatever, just don't do it. Because the way they did it to me, they played me because they waited to my year anniversary and they was like, well, you were on MySpace. I'm like, wow, you really gonna do that over MySpace? Yeah. Okay. So I just, I try to share things with them, but I try to also understand what it's like to be younger too. Like, you got to know what it's like. But these young kids, I don't feel like they is as more mature as I was. Like, nah, we was really going on trips as youngins. Like, you don't understand being in 10th and 11th grade and taking trips in New York City. Like, come on, that shit was, especially that's when the crime was up. Niggas would rob you in the train stations. Like, we was on it. Like, yeah, that was the good old days. Anyway, personally, I think young adults should enter the dating scene at 21. It should be very open. Young adults should be having fun and exploring their possibilities regardless of schooling business. Regarding schooling business. Yeah, imagine you get caught up at 16 with a guy. Next thing you know, you so caught up into him. Now you don't want to go away to college no more. You probably had all these dreams of going away to college. And let's say that he don't want to go away. Now you want to be close to him because you don't want no other bitch next to him and you don't want to lose him. Now your dreams are going away to college. Now you local. Now you got pregnant and now the college just slowed up. And, that's not to say you still can't be successful, but you got to keep your eye on a prize. Like, sometimes that makes a man more interested. Like, you know what? You ain't never stopped your shit. You kept it going. You ain't never stopped. You fucked with me, but you know what? You got to realize it. I'm telling you, I know how I know how it feels when you're younger. You feel like this is it. And I'm telling you, unfortunately, and this is why I tell my nieces I'm so proud, especially with her switching schools and stuff like that, having to get new friends. I told her, I said, this is what life is going to be about. You're going to meet new friends. You're going to, certain people you speaking to now, you ain't going to be speaking to them no more. Like, you're going to meet new friends. It's going to be different things. Like, just be open to it. And for the good people, at least. Profession just exploring life and who they are. Yeah, you don't want to be fucking, come on, you don't even know who you are. You 14, 15, 13 years old, having these people running in and out of you and you don't even know who you are. Now the next thing you confused and you got these emotions and these wants for all of this sex. It's like, you ain't ready for that yet. You'll get to that point. I don't think there's anything wrong with the girls who waited till they was like 18, 20 or whatever the case may be. You need to know yourself. You need to be, content and confident in yourself and not just doing something because you're following friends or because your friends are asking you like, hey, are you still a virgin? And you're like, yeah. And you just want to seem like you down. So now you fucked. Nah, make sure that when you do it, it's the way that you want to do it. That's how I feel. So, let's see. So yeah, rest in peace to Sanaya, poor little baby, 16 years old. So they seen them in the store. But yesterday at 10 a.m., they come in and the girl says something and he yells loud and I try not to pay attention. The worker said, adding that he was scared. Oh, shit. Jackson said that she can't begin to figure out why her granddaughter was killed. Everyone that knows Sanaya would never want to hurt her because she's not that type of person. The grandma said, What was the motive? I want to know if the grandmother was 51 years old. Why was Sanaya not living at home? Somebody feels responsible for this. Why was she not at home? Why was she living with this guy? She's a very lovable person. Why would you do that? Why would you want to take her life? Authorities say that Crumley is a 5'8" and 140 pound with a dark complexion, medium build, and short black hair. Sources said that he was wearing a black jacket, black pants, whatever. So this is the article when they couldn't find him. Hold on a second. Oh man, that's a horrible story. Give me a second. I want to see if I can find the New York Post. All right. Sanaya. So they arrested him. Yeah, they arrested him. I'm just going to get off of that because I'm ready to go to bed now anyway. So listen, y'all, rest in peace to Sanaya. That's a horrible story. Ladies, just be careful, you know. It's unfortunate because, like I said, you could just be walking out your house, going to the store, and the next thing you know, you approached. You don't know who this person is, what they attached to. You making it seem like you available or whatever the case may be. You attached to this person and shit, it could just go left. Some people could just be up. You got to be careful. People be obsessed with you, and then again, they don't want you to be with nobody else. I don't know what this shit was about, but there's no way of shape or form saying that this girl deserved this in any way. She didn't deserve that. 16 years old, didn't even graduate high school. Not even, crazy. So anyway, y'all, this is your boy LaRon, female rap elite. I'm about to get up out of here. I hope all of y'all have a amazing Saturday. Yeah, I'm about to get up out of here. Be safe. Peace.